I am Slick Nick, and this is day number 8 of me having COVID. Now let's just work on the math for a moment. I'm looking at the clock, it's right around 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. It was exactly a week ago today. I remember it was around 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, and I thought, I feel like I'm low on energy right now. And I didn't think a whole lot of it, but then by 2 o'clock, that's when I was like, maybe I'm sick. To which that led to the events of me deciding to go get tested for COVID, and obviously, as we know, I officially have COVID. So let's work on the math. Today's day number 8, even though it's been a week, because the first day was day number 1. So it's been 7 solid days. Now begins technically the second week of this, really, when it comes down to it. We're beginning week 2. And what we know about COVID is typically you can expect the symptoms to last around 2 weeks. So in essence, I've just passed the halfway mark. So I want to talk about the symptoms that I'm experiencing right now that I made it through the first 7 days. Something that you can already perceive about me right now is that my voice does sound better. You can see that I do appear to have more energy. And those things are true. I mean, granted, I woke up with sort of a sinus headache, but I did, for the second night in a row, sleep all the way through the night. And I slept very solidly, probably 9 hours. So I'm not having those issues like I did the first couple of days where I couldn't get back to sleep if I went to the restroom in the middle of the night. So that's good. But definitely the sense of taste and smell are completely gone. And people that have been through this before, I've been able to talk to some other people, they have been saying that if I have kind of the normal case of it, then what that means is within the next 7 days, I will get my taste and smell back, and I will get it back permanently. Some people still have issues beyond that, but again, assuming I've got a normal case of it, then that's what we can expect. I'm still hyperdosing the zinc. I just had my garlic pill. I'm gonna keep overdosing on garlic, and I've got my men's supplement that has over 100% of zinc in it for the day. So I'm still going heavy on zinc because my research has led me to believe that that's why I'm of the 80% who loses sense of smell and taste, because I'm not already getting enough zinc in my diet. So at this point, it is just a matter of me surviving through the no taste thing. And again, I want to direct your attention back to earlier this year. I wrote that song called "Who's the Ghost Here?" So you can look that up on my channel. What a relevant song, especially for right now. You can imagine how you do feel further removed from the human experience when you can eat food, but you can't taste it, and you can't smell. Like, the smelling thing's not that big of a deal. It's better that I can't smell myself right now anyway, because I'm sure I'm permeating of garlic. So that's where I'm at as far as all this goes. In theory, the worst of the physical symptoms are over with. I don't feel miserable. I don't feel great, but I don't feel miserable. And my energy level is probably the highest it's been in about a week as of today. It's just the not being able to taste food thing is still gonna get to me, and I suppose if I have to go through this another week of my life before it comes back, it'll just be the new norm up until the day I wake up and I'm like, oh wow, I can taste food again. So let's take a look at yesterday's video to see if I got any new comments worth bringing up. I'm referencing yesterday's video, COVID Chronicles Day 7, adding zinc to my diet. I still believe this is a political conspiracy. Had 114 views, 11 comments, 7 thumbs up, and 2 thumbs down. So that's interesting to think of. I mean, that video was largely about how I'm saying that I don't regret anything I've done this year in regards to COVID. Just to put it in perspective, I traveled in September to Colorado with my wife. I also, was it June, traveled to Florida with my family. I always wear masks whenever it's required, because it's pretty much required everywhere except for my gym, where I was going 6 days a week and I was there an hour. And just how miraculous it is it took this long for me to get COVID, despite all of that. That's pretty amazing and fascinating. So But most people actually agreed with my video as I was saying that I really believe that all of this is largely fantasized, over-sensationalized. There you go. See, I'm getting better with my words now. The brain fog is not as bad as it was before. But as far as perhaps the media is making a bigger deal about this, and perhaps undeniably it was still linked to the election. So most people by default agree with me and did not disagree with me, because if they wanted to disagree, I would have got a lot more thumbs down than thumbs up. So let's look through some comments here. What have we got here? The letter A said, "Open your eyes, Nick. COVID-19 is the cure for hair loss. Now you see." Which I guess when I start shooting some new hair loss videos, I will definitely make one referencing comments like that, because I've been getting those. Stinky Cheese says, "COVID-20 is here, apparently." Andrew Moss, this pretty much sums it up. He said, "Yeah, considering you have a 99.7% chance of surviving it, there seems to be a lot of exaggeration, not to mention how the scientists have chopped and changed their minds and don't appear to know a lot themselves. First they said masks are ineffective, and then they started recommending them. Now that a vaccine is out, would you have it?" That's a good question. I said no, I would refuse the vaccine. That's one of the reasons I'm holding onto the documentation showing that I officially have had COVID, and that got 3 thumbs up. So Andrew said, "It is true that once you've had the virus, antibodies are formed, making it a lot harder for you to get it a second time. However, we don't know for how long those antibodies will last for. Indeed, we don't know yet how long the vaccine lasts for either. Over here," and he's in England, "over here we found out today that there has been a mutation of the virus that appears to be making it more infectious. The infection rate in the London area and beyond has gone up sharply as of late. What are your main reasons for not wanting the vaccine?" To which I responded, "I don't trust big pharma." And that got 2 thumbs up. And yeah, that's something that if you've been watching my channel, you'll know that I am definitely not a believer in taking prescription drugs. No one in my family, my household here, takes prescription drugs. You'll find no prescription bottles anywhere in our home. Now granted, if for some kind of temporary thing, if one of us were sick and needed some kind of medicine to get through it, then that would be the exception to the rule, but even that rarely happens. So I'm definitely someone who does not trust big pharma. I do not trust the government either. I do not trust the political process. I'm part of the system and I still vote, but I don't trust it. And I think now more than ever, we should not put faith in believing that our voice actually matters as individuals, that our opinions matter. I will still vote. I have that little bit of power. But as far as especially expressing opinions on social medias and believing that what I believe matters, now I'm well beyond that. And this all kind of started with the September 11 attacks, when I realized in hindsight how fishy the whole thing was, especially with, we went to war with countries that those countries weren't represented on the hijacking planes. So we were going to war with other countries. In fact, the people who were on the plane are people that were not attacking their countries, like Saudi Arabia, for example. So it's really interesting. And I have begun to question reality and making me, that much more of a red pill kind of guy. So that pretty much covers all the comments from that. Here's Baby Little Yoda says, "Did you notice any increase of hair loss during COVID?" 3 thumbs up, to which I just said no. So yeah, I will make that video once I start making hair loss videos, and perhaps because I'm getting my voice back, maybe I will try to get some fresh new hair loss videos sooner than later. Thank you for watching my COVID videos here, and we'll see. But ultimately, here's what I'm going to predict in closing. I'm going to predict that for the next week, I'm not going to see a whole lot of change go on. I think it's pretty much going to be stabilized to where I'm just not going to be able to taste or smell anything for the next week, and it's just going to plateau. No new symptoms, no old ones, and then suddenly a week from today, the symptoms are gone, and now I can taste and smell again. That's what I'm hoping for. Your comments belong right here.